So we are not seeing Runic versus Kashtira. In fact, we are seeing Spright versus Kashtira. And we were wondering, Spright has been falling out of favor. There are some players that are advancing towards the top cut with crazy deck lists, crazy new strategies. But this Spright deck is basically just really a standard combo with Swap Frogs and...
Yeah, it's a pretty basic Spright list that you would expect like a couple of months ago, but still, Georgios Stiliadis from Greece brought it all the way here to the bubble, as we said, 9-2 in the tournament so far. But there immediately is, by his opponent, by Andre Delure, the activation of Dimension Shifter. The thing is, he cannot really set up Spright Elf here, which is a crucial part of the end board usually. He can also not set up Totally Awesome through the Dimension Shifter usually, and therefore it's going to be kind of rough for him to even get to a whole lot. The hard-drawn Spright Carrot definitely helps, that's a good one. We are going into the Gigantic, and we even have Impermanence following up the Dimension Shifter. That is going to go to the Banish pile, but still it's going to negate the effect of Gigantic Spright there.
But the Spright Jet, the card that you ideally would want to summon out here, is actually already in hand. So this Impermanence was baited out, I would say.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Georgia definitely knows what he's doing, passing it over, and in Andre's hand we see a couple of Kashtira cards already, and yes, he is on the very popular and very successful deck this weekend. He's on the Kashtira.
But I think that his hand isn't too great. There, it looked like there was 2 Kashtira Births and Raidsoth.
Yes,
but the last card could be a Unicorn, which would still be a big problem.
Let's see where he's going. So, okay, yeah. The Raidsoth could get him to Unicorn anyways, even if he does not have it just yet.
Actually, if this is 2 Births, then Georgi might win this game on the spot if he negates the Search effect. And here has Ash Blossom. This is really good because there's one monster in the hand of Andre that can be summoned. And it is only a Rysart, not even a Unicorn of any.
Yeah, it's Rysart. So Rysart being normal summoned here on the spot. The thing is, we could have also negated the activation of the field spell by using the effect of Spright Carrot, but we decided to not do that. So that's kind of interesting because I feel like Ash could be also used on a lot of other cards than the field spell. And also getting rid of the field spell, not having it on the field for the rest of the turn is pretty decent, I would say.
But there is a double cross, and you need to attach your opponent's monster to your Gigantic Spright, so you cannot destroy the Raidsoth.
You're right, yeah, you're right. That's true. You want to keep your double cross live, so definitely was a smart move by him. And there is a double cross on the Rysart immediately. And
you have to
as
do
you
that.
said, that is pretty rough because there's just another Kashtira Burp in the hand. So we have a pass over to Georgi, who's no longer on the Dimension Shifter and can just freely use the effect of Gigantic now. Also meaning that there cannot be Nibiru anymore for the rest of the turn. So he's pretty safe here to go off.
Yeah, he is summoning Spright Elf, and you could immediately just stop any hand interaction from going off by going into the
Spright Red. Or what are you thinking about?
No, the Dark Exceeds monster. I haven't. The Jin.
Oh yeah, you can also go into Jin, that's true.
Haven't seen that card in a while.
Yeah, number 65 Jin Buster also in his extra deck. Something I was really surprised about is the fact that he's not on the Mannequin Cat package, because that was usually in the extra deck of Spright players lately to counter the Telements matchup, because it can be really, really, really decent versus that. Do you even go into Jin here? Because Jin does not have a whole lot of attack points, honestly, and you rather want to go for a lot of battle damage here, because your opponent didn't do a whole lot last turn, so he probably, you should probably take that advantage of having the upper hand right now and go for some action here.
We might see a Spright Sprint here to send a Nimble Angler from the deck to the GY to summon out 2 Nimble Beavers and then overlay the Sprint to another Gigantic, because that one would be at 3,200 attack points in the main monster zone.
Pretty beefy Gigantic Spright. But let's see, well, that's a route he wants to go. Double Beaver, as you thought.
So what you want is the Carrot still on the field, so you have the option to always negate an Infinite Impermanence. You, at this point, know that your opponent is playing it. And we are going for another Link 2 in the main monster zone.
Into Spright Elf. Okay, okay. I mean, that still gets us to enough damage, I'm pretty sure. That is 3,200, another 16 by the Gigantic already on the field.
That is 4-8, and this looks like it would be game. The Rysart is gonna be taking, okay, 1,000. Then Spright Jet is 1,300 or 400.
Andre already wanted to pick up the cards, but maybe George was like, no, 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 it's not even game just yet. You have another turn. But now they realize it is actually game. The math was correct indeed, and therefore it is game number 1 to George. What a quick start for him here. That must feel so rewarding and good. Getting into the feature match here actually adds a little bit of extra pressure to the players because they're now in the spotlight. Everyone around the world sees what they're doing here in their bubble match of this YCS. And in that particular moment, it feels so good to just end game number 1 in 5 minutes.
And George must be really happy about his deck choice as well, because if you get shifted and impaired with other popular decks, you might have a problem.
Absolutely.
But not with Spright. Okay, you cannot set up your Toad, but the double cross is incredibly powerful against the Kashtira deck.
Oh yeah, absolutely is. So in the main deck of Andre, who didn't have a great time here in game number 1, there's a lot of going second cards, as we saw. There was the Imperm, there was the Shifter. They were not too impactful versus Spright, but in general, the deck is pretty well prepared for going second.
Well, and he is playing a really big Bestial package, and he didn't draw any of them. It must feel so good to just side them out in this weak game 1 that you have in your main
now
deck.
You're talking about George's deck again, of course. Yeah. George is playing all the Bestials, and he can get rid of them now. He's actually playing 8 Bestials in the main deck, so definitely good for him that he doesn't have to play with them anymore now. But the thing is, the main deck of Andre is really heavily on focused on going second, and now he can bring in cards like Artifact Sanctum, for Artifact Scythe for last time this weekend, or also Solemn Judgment. So he definitely is prepared for going first, and I definitely think we are going to see a lot of those cards being sided in here for game number 2.
I mean, we have seen Kashtira with double Solemn Judgment at the start this tournament already, but it is always really dangerous to pay for many Solemn cards, because then just one triple Tactic Talents take can end your run.
Yeah, and I mean, I can tell you there's triple Tactic Talents. Also, looking at the side deck of George, I see there is Nibiru, which can be super crucial versus the deck. I don't think we're going to see the Dimension Shifters coming in because the guy is playing it himself, so why would you bring it in? But one card that's also kind of nice is Dark Riddle No More, because at least it gets rid of the Arisart Macrocosmos effect.
Which is also a shifter on legs.
Yeah, true. You're not really getting rid of the Shangri-Ira zone locking, but maybe you have other ways to deal with that. But those questions are going to be answered in a moment because players are ready. Let's get into game 2 here of our last round Swiss featured match of YCS Lyon.
All shuffled up. The first 5 cards of both players are already on the table. Let's see what they have drawn here. We are seeing Pot of Prosperity, and Andre looks like he wants to start Pot of Prosperity after siding, going first. Such a powerful card. Even going second, it can just help you find your side deck cards that are specifically in your deck.
Instant impermanence on the Unicorn, though.
That is huge.
Judging the hand of Andre, that is indeed very huge, because now Prosperity cannot grab those powerful trap cards anymore because there's nothing happening afterwards, and rather he has to dig for cards like the good old Kashtira Birth now, I think. You really need Kashtira Birth in that scenario to even extend your combo there. So that's really, really good of an impermanence.
Or a Theosis, but we are finding the Theosis. This one can be activated. Talents cannot be activated because impermanence is a trap pattern. We are seeing Sanctum, so you might actually just want to have the Sanctum so you can not put up a big board, but this one actually disables your opponent from beating you with board breakers. Because you just have another turn and then you can try to OTK.
True. Yeah, and indeed, he goes for the Artifact Sanctum. Making that choice, that Artifact Sanctum, 99% of the time is going to buy him another turn. Let's see whether that works out, because that also is somewhat losing to another Infinite Impermanence.
And he still has plays.
Oh, true, he can even extend here.
He has the Scareclaw Kashtira, and he also has a Rysart in hand, so he can actually make a Rysart if he wants to. He could just also go for Shangri-Ira. But he can now banish a Theosis to just get the Fenrir back. This is really good. He's not even losing a card there.
That Sanctum was absolutely correct, because it's not even the case that he can't do a whole lot afterwards. We are banishing 3 cards face down there.
I thought he was drawing 3 for some reason. I was really confused why.
Runic Fountain apparently got moved onto the field.
Good card. Good card.
Absolutely.
But the question is now here, if you have the Sanctum, do you really commit into the Sanctum? Just go into the Shangri-Era right here, or just go for the Arise Heart, playing around Nibiru, so you ensure your win condition there, not going for the Shangri-Era play to get another resource in the standby phase. So we know what card is set face down. Artifact Sanctum, a card that is going to summon out Artifact Scythe, which will be forbidden as of Monday.
Yeah, and I think in some instances you could argue for actually activating the Sanctum in standby phase to play around cards like Triple Tactic Talons, but in this deck, in the Kashtira deck, you're always giving your opponent the chance to activate his Talons, because the Arise Heart on board will just always trigger in main phase. It is mandatory, as we have learned multiple times already over this weekend, and therefore I don't think there's any reason. You rather wait for your opponent to do stuff.
Did he just pass?
That absolutely looked like it, yeah. Yep,
Organ
indeed.
just passed, and this is not much better because the Sanctum is still there.
Yep, and again, Arise Heart is just going to attack for 3,000 attack points, and that's bringing the August life points down to 5,000. And now, I mean, we got a turn skip from our opponent. He did not play at all, and we didn't have to actually even activate the Artifact Sanctum for it. That's huge for Andre.
Harpy's Feather Duster into Infinite Impermanence would be a really good answer to this board, though.
That's true, yeah.
Arise Heart, let's read this card again. Yes, every card that is sent to the graveyard would be banished instead.
Indeed. So George just making sure about that, and it is going back over to him after another card being added to the back row by Andre. So he's really considering his options. The first game was super quick, and it might be another quick game, but Dark Rune No More at least helps out with the Arise Heart. But there are still the Sanctum into Scythe we have to worry about.
Oh, there is one combination of cards. Normal summoning a monster and then chaining Starter. If Sanctum is activated now, you can chain Starter to summon out red and then negate the activation of Scythe on the field. Do you chain the Starter here? No, there is not a Starter to be changed. Scythe is activated. Do we see an answer, a droplet, something?
No, there is no answer. But of course there could still be the Triple Tactic Talons. Just taking that Arise Heart and then setting up a really big Zeus does not sound that bad either, to be honest.
You can't summon Zeus, though.
Why can't you?
Scythe.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a pretty good answer, I have to say. I gotta say that is actually pretty obvious.
Maybe this is a red that is summoned in defense position now, because he was just hoping that his opponent would not answer to the Jet immediately with Artifact Sanctum. However, Andre did not get fooled by this attempt and just...
Oh, it is blue.
Okay, so we are building up a bit of a wall, because you have to. There's 5,200 attack points on the field of Andre, so you need some monsters on the field to defend yourself.
Yeah, and also without access to Kashtira Birth, the Kashtira deck with monsters on the field is not really able to summon out a whole lot of monsters. So it will be probably just between the two monsters he already has on board. So if George can set up more follow-up for the next turn, that could be really good. Imperm denying the Spright Jet Search here.
So Andre is still just on one card. What he can do next turn is set a Zeus up for himself. A pretty big one, in fact.
Yeah, that's true. 3 cards left in hand for George. Oh, we're crashing into the Scythe.
Okay.
Do you have an explanation
this is
for
preventing
that?
some more damage if you are just passing on this and there's no other monster on the field, because then Arise Heart can't run over the Jet itself. However, this one...
Oh!
That is
what
strong.
a heads-up play! Now in battle phase, using the effect of the good old Bistia Druisworm. There is now a dark monster in the graveyard, and he crashes into a Arise Heart and now uses the graveyard effect of Druisworm to destroy it.
And he is setting 2 cards. He actually kept the Druisworm.
That's surprising to me, to be honest. It worked out here, but in general, I don't know whether that's the most clever decision ever. But now, there is a monster on board for Andre, so without Kashtira Birth, both of the cards he has in hand don't do anything, because it's Unicorn and Fenrir. There's no way he can summon those out right now, so he's left with only the Artifact Scythe on board, and that honestly... Oh,
Georg is a mastermind!
The good old Book of Eclipse too.
He actually just gives his opponent one draw in the end phase, as we have learned yesterday. His own monsters will not be flipped face up,
This
or will be
is so
face up,
strong.
but there's only draws for one card.
He also gets access to Gigantic now. This is all of a sudden, after not doing anything in turn number 1, looking pretty decent for Georgi.
I don't know why this man has made it so far. He has been in a difficult situation, especially summoning the carrot
now as well.
Just another body on board. The Scythe doesn't have the most defense point. This is a big turnaround.
And look at Andre's life points. He's already down to 3,600 life points. So we might even see him having enough access to damage points here to go for game. And there's Gamma Burst on top of it.
Gamma Burst, the card that decided to go second and try to OTK. So we are going to see a Link summon now of Spright Sprint. Spright Sprint is going to send what to the graveyard?
Obviously, the Nimble Angler. And Nimble Angler is going to result into 2 Nimble Beavers there. There they are. And that is already so many rank, link and level 2 monsters on board in combination with the just surged Gamma Burst. That is more than enough to go for game.
We are reading Gamma Burst now. By the way, I just saw what Andre drew with the Book of Eclipse draw, and it was only a Dimension Shifter that cannot be activated at all. Nimble Beaver is attacking into the Scythe. Gamma Burst is activated. Nimble Beaver is now strong enough to attack over the Artifact Scythe.
What? Oh, okay. Life points have been corrected. Andrew actually was on 6,000 life points, but that is still not enough to withstand this turn by Georgi. And Georgi here in the round 12 bubble match of YCS Lyon, securing his spot in top 64 of this prestigious tournament.
This was absolutely massive. I thought this was over. A Rise Heart plus Sanctum. He just passed for a turn, and then I thought, okay, this is over again. But this Druiswim, he actually kept the Bestials in. I explicitly said before that he must be happy to be able to side out the Bestials. But for some reason, he had Dark Ruler no more to get rid of the effect of a Rise Heart, then summon the Bestial and then crashing it in because it's Druiswim. I can't.
Funny workaround, right? Because you first of all had to do the Dark Ruler, and like in multiple steps, you got rid of the Rise Heart. And honestly, we ourselves have been hyping up Kashtira quite a bit over the weekend now already, and we saw a weakness there. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He had no way to actually use 2 of the most powerful cards in his deck, just because he had monsters on board. The Fenrir, the Unicorn, both of them were just cards he couldn't use because they are level 7 monsters and you can't just get them onto the board. And therefore, I think we saw what might be hindering the Kashtira deck to go all the way this weekend.
We have seen so many players on Kashtira running 2 births, and now you can see the downside. Of course, you want to have it on the field, you need to have it on the field, or you can't progress your plays. If you only have Scythe on board, one single Book of Eclipse is stopping your entire turn just on an attack, so you can get OTK'd in the next turn by Gamma Burst.
Honestly, for Georgi, this must feel so good. I was already saying, hey, after game 1, you must be happy in this situation. But he just took that with a storming 2-0. Like, it was super, super crazy in game number 2 because we were never ever thinking he could pull this off. He after that just past turn, I was like, okay, yeah, that's just probably over now.
You know, when Spright came out together with Tier Elements, people were considering Spright the best deck first, and it has been kind of forgotten over the time. People were not considering it anymore, but Georgi just showed why Spright is one of the most powerful decks we have in the format and at all. And now we are going to hear from Georgi, the man himself who played this perfectly, coming back from such a tough position. Take it over, Ed.
Thank you, Leo. Yes, I am here with George, who's just won round 12. Congratulations. That was an incredibly swift victory. How do you feel?
I feel good. I was on bubble since round 6, so I'm good under pressure, and I prove it.
Yeah, no kidding. That was so quick, and I don't think any of us were expecting that. In a blink of an eye, game 1 was over, and then game 2. Let's just go through that, because game 1, you basically just built a huge Spright field, and there was nothing that he could do, so he scooped. When it came to the second one, Andre set up a Rise Heart and Scythe with Sanctum. So what do you feel when you're seeing that? Were you pretty calm, or were you getting a bit worried? I mean, seemingly you knew how to deal with it, but what's going through your head when you see things like a Rise Heart?
I was only left 2 bestials from main deck to side deck to Ibli, to beat Ibli, and I drew Druid's Room, which was the best in this situation, helped me out to Rise Heart, and I knew that Book of Eclipse now can help me win and keep my level 2s, so I was quite confident.
Yeah, no kidding. And then we move on to you had to crash into Scythe to get Druid's Worm, use the Druid's Worm effect to then get rid of a Rise Heart, and then you built a huge field and used Gamma Burst. Is Gamma Burst is that quite a spicy card to put in? Was that a last-minute tech card, or was that for a specific matchup?
It's not spicy. I also use it like in Dortmund when I top 32 also, and it's a really good card, helps OTK a lot, and it's an amazing card, like the best card in the side deck.
Is there... Okay, yeah, fair enough. Is there anything in the upcoming top cut that you might be nervous about going up against Spright, or with the current setup you have in your deck, do you feel pretty confident?
My only matchup that I'm a bit afraid of is the tier with Kashtira cards, with Field Spell and the full engine, and then also the Labyrinth matchup, because my side deck isn't full with back row removals, and I will gonna struggle. I struggled in Swiss against this deck, so...
We've seen Labyrinth play in one of the feature matches, so fingers crossed. Maybe you won't have to go up against anything too back row heavy, but congratulations, well done. We'll give you some time to, decompress and get your head in the game for the Top 64 Cup, but congrats, a very big achievement to get there for YCS Lyon. Guys, we're going to have a little bit of a break before we get into the Top 64, but we've got lots of content to come your way, and then we'll start getting into those feature matches for the Top 64. Don't go anywhere.